Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel Grammar Guru. In the earlier video, I have taught you helping verbs which are divided into primary and modals. In this video, I am going to explain you what is a modal verb and what is the meaning and what are the indications. In most of the question papers, for many examinations, there is always a question related to modals. Let me quickly tell you first the type of questions that you may have in the paper. The first type of question is pick out the modal in the given sentence. The second type of question is pick out the modal and state its indication. The third possibility is that they may give you a sentence with a fill in the blanks and 3 or 4 options of modals are given in brackets and we have to select the correct one. Sometimes they may give you a sentence, it is underlined, and what does it mean in that sentence? 4 options may be given below, A, B, C, D, like we have in competitive examinations. We have to select the correct one. To solve all these 4 types of questions, we must understand what is a modal and what are its indications and uses. So let's begin. Over here I have written 4-5 important points. Let me first quickly explain you, then we will discuss the table behind me. The modals are actually called as helping verbs. 13 modal verbs are there and they set, the original word modal comes from the word mood, and mood means to set the meaning of the sentence. They set the mood of the sentence means they affect the meaning of the sentence. Each modal, in fact there are 13 if you can see on the right side over here, there are 13 of them over here and each of them may have 1 or 2 different meanings expressed in the reference of the sentence. And so the most important point is these modals cannot be used alone. In grammatical language we say they don't stand on their own. It simply means that there must be a main verb after the modal. Simply you cannot use the word can in a sentence. He can, full stop, can be a meaningless sentence. So I hope you know now what is a modal. Now let's quickly explain how modals are used in the sentences and what are the different meanings that they reflect. The modals I have listed on the first column and on the right hand column I have written the indications they are. One by one I will explain you with what is the use with some examples so that it will be easy for you to understand. So let's begin. The first modal is can. So in a normal sentence, a can have 2 or 3 different meanings reflected. The first one is ability, the second is possibility, and the third one is permission. So are we going to use all 3? No. It depends on a reference of a sentence. Say for example, we can say he can play chess or she can swim nicely. In both the cases, can is the helping verb that is modal in the sentence. And what does it indicate? In the first sentence or in the second sentence, he can play chess shows his ability to play. She can swim shows her ability to swim. But the same word in a different sentence may have a different meaning. Suppose I say, it can rain tomorrow. And so the correct indication will be can is showing possibility. Because there is no ability of anybody. It can rain tomorrow shows possibility. And when the same word can is used in the beginning of a sentence with a question mark in the end, suppose I say, can I have your mobile please? In this case, I am asking permission to use your mobile. So can reflect 3 meanings. So can indication will be ability, possibility and permission. My dear friends, suppose the question paper says pick out the modal and state its indication. Your job is very simple. Just find out the modal that is 13 from this list and write the correct indication that is. In one sentence there will be only 1 meaning reflected. So if the meaning is related to permission, then write can dash permission. In the same way for all 13 you have to do. Now the second modal is could, which is actually a past tense of can. So ability, possibility, permission will be there. But added to that, in a very polite English, could in the beginning of a question is used to ask polite request. Suppose you are traveling in a train and you want to ask someone to open the window which is on the other side of the carriage, then you can say, could you please open the window for me? And that could you please in that case will become polite request. Now the third modal is shall. There is only one, and there is only one one indication that is reflected by it, and that is permission. Shall I, you can say, when it is in the question mark sentence, it always reflects permission. Then the next is the most important. Out of 13, 4 or 5 of them are very frequently used, and they are always used in question paper. Out of them, the fourth one, should. The should has 2 indications. One is suggestion, the other is advice. So suppose somebody says, you should take regular exercise. In that case, should is actually a modal which is showing suggestion in that sentence. So in that case, we say whenever you see should in a sentence and the question is about modal, then you have to write indication as suggestion or advice. Now the next one is another most important helping verb, that is will. Now normally will is used by us since beginning of our learning of the language. Will shows future tense, that is true. Will shows future tense, but when used as a modal, then it also shows certainty. Be careful about the spelling and about the pronunciation. It is not certainly, it is certainty. Certainty in simple English means whenever you are 100% sure, you are guaranteed about something. Suppose you are giving a promise to your father saying, Father, I will score 90%. Or you are telling someone, India will become superpower by 2025. In that case, will is not showing future tense in that sentence, but it is showing nothing but certainty. So that is the indication of will. The next one is would. Now this would and over here used to at the bottom, these two almost have same meaning. Now would have 2 indications. One is possibility. He would admit himself tomorrow. Means ऐसे chances है, there is a chance that this will happen. So that is called possibility. And the second is the most important. Whenever we have would as a modal in a sentence, it shows habitual past presently discontinued. This is how we have to write as an indication, habitual past. So what do I mean by habitual past? Means any habit that was in the past, but presently it is discontinued. Suppose we say, when I was young, I used to go to my native place. That itself means that presently I don't have time, I am away from my home, I can't visit. That habit of visiting native place is now discontinued. Or you can take another example. If 5 years ago my father would drive a scooter, that means now he drives car or something else. The habit of driving scooter is over now. So in that case, habitual past presently discontinued is the indication of modal would. And the next one is may. It has 2. Normally you must have seen when you are entering into a classroom, you put your hand side and say, may I come in ma'am, may I come in sir. So it is for permission, that is first. And another is less certainty, which is exactly the opposite of will. When you are very much sure, you are guaranteed 100%, then you will use will. But you are not so sure whether it will happen or not. Then in that case you say he may become a great businessman, because you are not sure. When you are sure, you will say he will. 100% clear? Take one more example. Suppose the given sentence is, whenever you see a red light, you ... stop. And there are 3 options given. You will stop, you must stop, you can stop, you should stop. So if you know the correct indication reflected, then selection of the fill in the blanks answer will be absolutely easy for you. So remember, may have 2 indications, less certainty and permission. Now the next one is might, which is for possibility. Then most important is must. 90% time in most of the examinations I have seen in my last 25 years of experience, most of the time this modal is always asked in the question, must. And in grammatical language, the correct answer for indication should be, you have to pick out the modal, that is must, then write it on the next line, must dash, and simply write obligation. Some grammarians also say compulsion, but I do not agree. Compulsion may not be considered as the right answer. The correct indication is obligation. Now, what do you mean by obligation? Obligation means something compulsory by law. That means when you see a red light on a signal, you must stop is correct, not you should or you can, because it is compulsory that when you see a red light, it is a rule, it's a law that you have to stop. But is it a rule you must take care of your parents? No. So the next part is, after must, it is used to. Now, used to and would have same indication. Used to is also for habitual past, presently discontinuous. So we can say she used to take exercise regularly. That means presently she has discontinued. And the next one is ought to, O-U-G-H-T. Yeah, my dear friends, be careful about the spelling, O-U-G-H-T, not A-U-G-H-T. Ought to is a very special kind of a modal which reflects or shows or indicates moral responsibility. So what do you mean by moral responsibility? Moral responsibility means you feel in your heart that this must be happen or this must be done. Like you must take care of your parents or you ought to take care of your parents. So there is no rule, so must is wrong. Ought to, this is because they are your parents, it is your responsibility. So actually ought to is together, used to, ought to, need to, dare to. There are 4 verbs, modals, which have to as a part of the verb. It is not past tense of use or need or dare. So ought to shows moral responsibility. That is the indication. The second last is need to, which is for necessity. You need to be careful about your communication skills. So you need to be careful about your words. So need to shows nothing else but necessity, which is the indication of a modal. And the last one is dare to, means it reflects or indicates daring or courage. So I hope you have learned everything about what is modal, what kind of verbs are there, how many modals are there, what type of questions are there related to modals, and how should you write answer. My advice to all of you will be, please learn this table by heart, and I promise you appear for any examination, your marks for modals will never be lost. So with this happy note, on a promise that you have learned everything very good, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please press the bell icon. If you have any suggestions and comments, please write in the comment box. Thank you for watching.